I have in front of me here a TV wall tilt bracket which has an angle of plus or minus 15 degrees. It can support TVs between the range of 32 up to 65 inches and a maximum weight of 40 kilograms. So you can see the outer box that we have here and the general design of the TV bracket when it's fully assembled. So I'm just going to move the presentation box out of the way and we'll just look at exactly what comes inside the box. So there is a brief instruction manual with a list of contents as well, which we can see here. So that's just sort of handy and gives an overview of it, but we can give an overview here as well, and you can just check that everything that should be there is there. All the componentry comes actually in the sealed pack, which we can see here. Just kind of hold it up in front of you here. So the heavy duty coach screws and the plugs just go into the wall and therefore mounting the back bracket onto the wall. And then we have different types of screws which are bolts here which we can use for bolting these two brackets I'll show in a minute onto the TV. And there's a range of 3 different sizes there, 4 screws in each range. Just the screws that go with it, and also we have a spirit level here, and we use that primarily when we're putting the bracket onto the wall to make sure that it's horizontal. Okay, and we also have, we'll say, these locking bolts here, which I'm going to show in a few minutes' time as well. So what we'll do here is I'll just start off and say that primarily this is pretty well fully assembled when we get it. So there's 2 component parts to it. There's the bracket, which I'm going to lift up here, which will simply mount directly onto the wall. Okay, and that's what we do here is we'll just come along, we'll mark it on the wall, normally using a spirit level or the small spirit level that comes with it. We'll mark the 4 holes, drill them out, and then we'll bolt this back plate directly onto the wall using the plugs and bolts I showed a few moments ago. So we'll have this, and I'll just move that slightly out of the way now. The other part of it is it comes in a set, and what we basically have here is we have brackets which would simply come along and we'd mount these directly onto the TV. So what we'll do is we'll come along, we'll screw them onto the TV, and what it means is that, so for example, if we had a flat screen TV there, we'd lie it down, we'd come along, we'd screw this in here. So if we look at the design of the slots here and the holes here, it gives a very wide range of VESA standards. So in theory actually it'll support a VESA standard from 100 by 100, so basically 100 millimeter centers, up to 600 by 400. So when we say 600 by 400 we mean 400 center distances here, and over the length of the entire bracket in terms of how far we'll put these brackets apart, there'd be 600 millimeter center to center. So once we have these bolted into position, then what we can do is we can come along and lift the television en masse as such on, and I'm just going to demonstrate it with a single bracket here. If you can imagine here, I'll just try to give a side profile to it here. What we do is we just simply drop it on from above like this, and then it just hooks in here, and we can see we've screwed on there. And by screwing this up here like this, what it means is that it can't simply be pushed up anymore because there's a locking mechanism there. So what we'll do there is we would come along and we'd slide this up and down to the corresponding distance of the TV, because it obviously bolted onto the back of the TV. So we'd obviously not be putting on a single bracket at a time, we'd be putting on 2 at the one time. In terms of, we'll say, how to adjust the angle of the tilt, I'm just going to move this out of the way. What we have here is, I'm just going to show you the 2 knobs and locking bolts that we have here. So if we came along here, we'd actually just grab one of these square bolts here, and we just slot this directly through, like this. We put on our washer, and we'll also put on our hand locking nut here. And that means that once if we can adjust this, we can get it to the angle up or down that we want. And once we have it to there, we can actually just lock it into position there, and then we have it very secure. Okay, so as you can see, it's very, very easy to use. It's part of a very wide range of TV brackets that we have. They're proved very, very popular products for us. This particular one is great because there is big demand to be able to set a TV at a set angle. Often we'll say people, particularly in pubs or things like that, are mounting TVs at a high point and they want to be angle it down, maybe at about a 15-degree angle. So it just makes it easier viewing. So that's it anyway. An overview of the TV tilting bracket gives an angle of between 15 degrees up or down.